really interested in your perspective on Australia's positioning in terms of the shift to the knowledge economy and really ensuring that we're in that sweet spot.
Yeah, no, I'm very proud, Dan. So when I talk to my American colleagues and my British colleagues and in Europe and Asia, Australia and New Zealand, I must say, we're way out ahead with initiatives like the National Skills Commission, the National Careers Institute, the National Credentials Platform, the National Micro-Credentials Marketplace, the AQF enshrining micro-credentials and connected systems, all fantastic in terms of where we are from an enabling environment perspective, Dan. I think the challenge for Australia now, which has probably always been the case, is let's not reinvent the wheel. So my life is spent now making sure that I find where the great innovation is going on in the world. And we touched on one, with the Open Skills Network, or we touched on another which built on the back of the MacArthur Foundation and the Mozilla Foundation, the work of Concentric Sky and Badger and what they're doing, and IMS right alongside them. All of those, that the smart play for Australia now that we've got out ahead from an enabling environment perspective is to sweep up all of the other wonderful open innovation that's going on around the world and bring that to bear, rather than spending our time and our effort and our resources reinventing the wheel, Dan. So we've got ourselves into a great position. What we need to do, though, is to just bear in mind, just to really keep at the forefront of our brains, open standards, interoperability, global. I think if we keep thinking that way, we'll continue to be in a fantastic position on a relative basis.
Fantastic, Martin. Very, very inspiring and very insightful. And I think I have a feeling you've already touched on this in a number of the different points you've made. But can you tell us more about the Beam Center?
Thank you, Dan.
Aspirations and some of the initiatives you're involved in now?
Yeah, I realized when I was sort of coming to the end of my time as a vice chancellor, you get very reflective. And I looked back on my career and I realized there were probably three core narratives that were the red threads that ran through my working life, Dan. One you touched on, which is I've always been at the intersection of education and technology. I mean, my degree is in adult ed, but I immediately started getting involved in how technology back to the first PC days really could be used as part of education. The second, Dan, is that my whole career, I've been actively involved at all levels of government and industry in skills. Because I came from the technology industry, there is always a skills deficit in technology. It's just the nature of the fact that we just can never provide enough people with the skills we need to keep up with where the innovation is going. So skills has been a red thread. But then the third area that I realized, Dan, was being a global traveler in my life, having worked all over the world for my whole career. I was in this sort of really unique position to be able to unlock my network in the innovation space, to be able to create what I describe as a collaboration hub, to be able to bring like-minded people to bear so that others can learn from them rapidly. So the center that I've started is really about just perpetuating that work, Dan. It's making sure that I'm doing all that I can at a policy level and industry level and sector level to promote alternative credentials in the future of work. I'm doing all that I can for Australia and New Zealand to bring the innovation that I find happening all around the world back to us so that we can leverage it wherever we can. And then, of course, I just am thrilled to be able to give advice to open-minded people as I learn more about that on a daily basis to be able to help solve those challenges. And what's fun, Dan, is that's increasingly in secondary schools, in TAFE systems, in government, in universities, in corporate universities, which is the area that's just on fire right now. So that's where my center is positioned. And I call it the preferment stage of my life, Dan. I only work on stuff that I prefer to work on, which is a lovely chapter of my life.
Nice. That's exciting. I heard you use that expression, which I'd never heard before, just last week, actually. And I thought, what a fantastic expression, and how fortunate we are that that you are focused on that preferment stage. And I know, personally and professionally, I've gained so much from your insights along the way over the past months. So really appreciate everything that you've done for me and our company, Edalex, and much more importantly, on that global scale and the impact that you're having on so many organizations, which ultimately will translate down to individual learners, which is why we're all in this industry.
What a nice place to wrap up to, because that's certainly why I've always been in it, Dan. And it's why, as you know, you are as well, but of a father of awesome young women, I want them to have the same career chances and opportunities in their lives, ideally living close to home in Australia rather than scattering all around the world. And we'll only do that if we make sure Australia stays at the forefront of these future of work initiatives. So thanks for the opportunity today, Dan, and thanks for all of your collegiality, friendship, and support. It's a real pleasure working with you.
Likewise, Martin. Couldn't have said it better. So thanks again for your time.
You're welcome.
We'll wrap up here. Thanks again.
Bye now.